Okay, lesson 32. Lesson 32. So, oops, I grabbed the wrong book, didn't I? Yep, that's 8-7. 6-5. So we are on page 155. If you're not there already, 155. Lesson 32, angles and polygons, angles and polygons. So we have different types of angles. You will see angles that look like this. You will see an angle that looks like an L shape. Then you will see an angle that's bigger than an L shape. And then sometimes you can see just a flat line. But if you see that with a heart rate, that means you're not living anymore. It means you've flatlined. Those of you who have heard that term, that means you have flatlined, no more heart rate. What that means. So first off, we have this smaller angle right here. So the yellow one right here. What type of angle is that going to be? Yes, Ian. It is an acute angle because that angle right there is smaller than 90 degrees. It's an acute angle. It's a cute little guy. It's small. Then we have that second one. Evan, what's the second one that I'm highlighting in red? That is a right angle, yep, because that angle right there, it equals 90 degrees. So anything that has an L shape like that, which we build a lot of structures with right angles because they are very structurally sound. So that right there, a right angle. Right angle. And then that third one there, which I'm going to highlight in blue. Ian, which type of angle is this guy? It's an obtuse angle. It's obtuse. It's a big boy. It's bigger than 90. It's obtuse. And then the last one, Evan, what's that last one called? The one I'm highlighting in green at this very moment. What's that last one? Just that flat line. What is that called, Evan? This one right here is called a straight angle. Called a straight angle. Why? Well, it's a straight line. So it is called a straight angle. How many degrees is that? Well, it's 180 degrees. Anything that is a flat line, or what's called a straight angle, it would equal 180 degrees. And that goes the same if it is a horizontal line or a vertical line. So let me give you, let's see here, example 2. So we just did example 1. So example 2. Example 2. So we have something called a plane. A plane, so that is a flat surface that extends without end. So for example, my whiteboard right here, this is on a plane. Your sheet of paper, so if this is my sheet of paper up here on the board, that is a plane. So you have different types of planes, and this is actually really important when you get into science. So when you cut someone in half from front to back. So if you imagine a line that just cuts me straight in half, you have my front half, you have my back half. That is what we call our frontal plane. So in the front, we have our frontal plane. And then when you cut yourself directly down the middle, so you have your left side of your body on one half, your right side of your body on the other half, that is, you are cut down what's called the sagittal plane. So this is all, that's all college level stuff, but that's what we're connecting right here. That's where we're going to be getting to with polygons. So if you're like, man, Mr. Doomer, I don't like polygons. I don't like all these planes that you speak of. Well, it's going to be very important if you get into any kind of science, medical field one day. It is going to be very important one day. So make sure you remember different types of planes because they are crucial to what you're learning. So what is a polygon? So those are flat shapes. So flat shapes are called polygons. So anything that is a flat shape, it is a polygon. So we got a triangle, we got a regular square, we could have a pentagon, we could have a hexagon, so 6 sides. What's a 7-sided figure called? Ian, do you remember what a 7-sided figure is called? Or Evan, you remembering what a 7-sided figure is? It does say on page 157 if you forgot. What's a 7-sided figure called? So 3-sided would be triangle. 4-sided figure is a quadrilateral. 5-sided figure, pentagon. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Evan. Yep, heptagon. Heptagon. So if you ever see the suffix at the beginning, hep, so that is a 7-sided figure. The polygon that is octagon, that is like a stop sign, 8-sided figure. We go on to a 10-sided figure, decagon. Dodecagon would be 12, and then from there you just have what's called a nonagon. So anything bigger than that would be what's called a nonagon. Okay, so that is our different types of polygons. So that's listed on page 157. So if you're asked to list, what is this 3-sided figure? Well, you would say it's called a triangle. All right, let's move on to our last example here. Example 3. Yes, let's do that one. Example 3. So I have this figure right here. That'll be figure A. Figure B will look like this. Figure C will look like a stop sign. All right, Ian, which one of those polygons are not a, or which one of those is not a polygon? That's what I should say. B, yep, and why is that? It has no sides, yep, it's just a circle. It is just a circle. So that would be not a polygon, and it's also not a quadrilateral, which a quadrilateral has 4 or more sides. Okay. Or sorry, not 4 or more sides, just 4 sides. Excuse me. So let me show you some examples of a quadrilateral here. So just a regular square, that's a quadrilateral. This diamond, that's a quadrilateral. This funny looking shape that I'm making right here. You erase part of it. Oh, that's changed. Yeah, a little bit. So that funny looking shape, it actually kind of ends up looking like a kite. That is also a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. Yeah, 7. A little bit, yeah. A little bit. All right. Ooh, that's a good one. So example 4, we are going to name each of these polygons. So this is on page 158. So look at my shape right there. First off, it's the shape of an L. But what type of polygon is it, Evan? How many sides does it have? So a polygon is any type of shape. So a triangle, square, quadrilateral, pentagon, heptagon, dodecagon, all those different shapes are all the different types of polygons. So we would just count the different sides on here. Ian, are you paying attention or are you drawing?
Oh, I know.
So right here, this would be side number 1. This would be side number 2, side number 3, side number 4, side number 5, and side number 6. So what type of polygon is it, Evan? It has 6 sides. It would be a hexagon, yep. That would be a hexagon. Ian, why don't you tell me what type of figure I have right here with this letter E? How many sides does that guy have? $11. Oh, I missed a side right here. 12. There we go. Yep. I forgot one of my sides. So there's 12 sides. So what type of polygon is that, Ian? Dodecagon. Dodecagon. A little bit. Dodecagon. I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. Dodecagon. Yes, Evan? Yeah, they spell let. Yep. So I'm just going to do those 2 examples. Let's move on to example 5. Example 5, which in example 5, it says, which 2 triangles below are congruent? Okay, what is congruent? So congruent, it says figures that have the same size and same shape. So they have the exact same size and the exact same shape. So why don't you look in your book, because I'm not going to be able to make them the same size and same shape. So on page 158, Evan, why don't you look on page 158? So which of those rectangles, which 2 are the exact same shape and the exact same size, or also known as congruent? Which of those figures are congruent? Which one is it? Which ones are it? Is it? So all I'm asking is which of those figures are the exact same size and exact same shape? A and C, and why is that? Exactly, one of them is just rotated, right? So they are the exact same size. If you were to rotate one of them on top of each other, they would have the exact same size, exact same shape. Okay, perfect. All right, let's look at the triangle one, Ian. The triangle one at the bottom of page 158. Which of those triangles are similar to each other? Which of those triangles are similar? They don't have to have the same size. I'm just asking if they're similar. If they're similar.
B and D.
B and D, yep. And why did you pick B and D? Yep, it's slightly tilted a little bit. Yep, one of them is actually called a right triangle. So letter A is a right triangle, and then letter C would be an obtuse, or also known as a scalene triangle. So B and D, they are the same triangle, but one of them is just a little bit bigger. Okay, so why don't you guys kick it off? You guys can keep working on your homework. So page 159, A through Q. So you guys got a lot of letters, and then do 1 through 15 odd. And make sure you have that written down on your homework sheet. All right. 8-7 math. You guys are up. Come here, little guy. It is. It's very helpful. I want to.